Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be doing this look from the hybrid of Metropolis palette and my Dream palette. So let's get started. So we're going to be using the Oval 8 brush by Artis, and I'm using these 5 ingredients as I mix them together and to make my foundation. It's the Cover FX Brightening Drops, the Tatcha Primer, Josie Maran Moisturizer with Sunscreen, the Ordinary Squalane, and Armani Silk Foundation, Luminous Silk Foundation in 6.5. So I mix all of those together on a little palette, and I absolutely love this brush. It's fast, it gives an incredible finish, and it's absolutely fantastic. I don't normally care so much for the Tatcha Primer, but I have it, so I'm still experimenting with it. But I love the way this came out. This is the Shiseido brush. It's got a bit of a cant to it, and I use this with my Kevyn Aucoin. I believe it's SX3, the Sensual firming. We'll get it in the description box. This is a very difficult product to use, but now that I've figured out how to use it, it is incredible. It gives great coverage. I actually mix it. I keep a little bit of my foundation mixture left over, and I dip the brush in that first and then into the product, because you just need such a little bit. A little goes a long way. And I feel like if you do it this way, you're just going to get a really nice coverage that's even, not cakey, and everything you want for in a foundation. This is a Chikuhodo brush, and I'm using this. It's basically just a silicone powder. It just gives it's very finely milled, and it just gives a nice, smooth finish to the eyelid, so that when you pack your eyeshadow on, it just goes on really smoothly. This is my e.l.f. brush that I use with my Anastasia Fawn contour. You only need a little bit, and I have a very petite face, so I'm really not using very much, and I am actually buffing it sort of up towards my cheekbones, because you kind of want your cheekbones to be high. You don't want them to be as low. So I kind of start right there, and then I sort of buff it a little bit outward and up. So you can see that right there. And that just gives me a little bit of definition, a little hint of color. I switched to this Real Techniques brush, and I'm just using that into my hairline and just getting a little more definition up there, again, and a little bit of color. And then this is my MAC. This is just a straight up old school MAC blush brush using Tremble by Illamasqua, which is a fantastic finely milled blush. This is a perfect pink blush. I like to go kind of hardcore on the blush because I feel like it always kind of melds into the skin a little bit by the end, so I'm not too shy about putting on too much. But I like to do it this way. I like to switch up the brushes, but I think this is such a beautiful color. Perfect. And then we're going to go into Oh Darling with our Sonia G brush. This is a sculpting brush, I believe, but I'm using kind of like a C shape. I'm doing my high cheekbones, and then I'm going sort of a little bit on top of that into my temple area just to get a little bit of a glow. And I use whatever's left on the brush to kind of get my nose and my forehead a little bit. I'm not really adding any extra product to that brush. It's just sort of what's left over. So you get just a very gentle shine. And this is my Chikuhodo brush. This is a fantastic brush. So we are going to be using Antique from Metropolis. And I thought that would pair really well with Familia from my Dream palette. And this brush packs it on and blends it. This brush never fails. I never knew if I was gonna really like this brush because sometimes you look at them and you're not sure about the shape, but this is a very soft, very quality brush. And as you can see, that cream powder just melts right on, which is what I love about those cream powder formulas. This is a random brush that I got from a Duane Reade, but I like the density and I really like this brush. So I'm gonna pack on Familia right in the outer corner, and I'm gonna build it up a little bit. So I'm gonna try to get it up into the brow bone a little bit. I'm just sort of defining it, and I'm also going underneath my eye. This is actually a really good color. I really shy away from the really warm colors, and I think this just with Antique is such a dream team. I really do. So now we're gonna do, yep. So we're going in the crease and just above that crease so that when I open my eye, it all is not lost in the crease. Just adding some definition and then blending. I don't have a very heavy hand, so I tend to dip in, blend, dip in, add blend, and dip in and blend, and it just keeps going for me because I don't have a heavy hand. I like to sort of take my time with getting the concentration and placement where I want it. So there I go again on my outer third. On this side, for some reason, I feel like I was a little shy about. I would have liked to have taken that up a little bit more into the brow bone, but I think I ended up blending it in. Also, I like that I was able to really connect the upper lid with the lower lid and kind of garner some real estate out there. And there I'm using my other brush, which there's nothing else on it. That's the brush that I used for Antique. And I'm just blending it. There's no extra product on it. I'm just blending it out, blending it up, blending again, always blending. I'm a blending maniac because that's how you get the really nice gradient, and that always lends itself to a really polished, elegant look. Yeah, those two colors just were meant to be together for sure. Just getting the saturation. Now we're going to be using, this is another Chikuhodo brush. I think it's the Passion series, and you can't see it there, but we're going to be using Noble. This is also from the Metropolis palette. This is just a great brown. I could have easily used, I think it's Serenity, but Noble's just a really nice color, and this is a fantastic brush. It comes to a point. There is no water on this brush. It's just packing and blending really nicely. I think it just looks really good with Antique and Familia. So I was really happy with that. So now I'm just blending those two. I might be adding a little bit of Familia on the outside. And then I'm going in with is it Spontaneous? That lighter color there. I really like to get into the real estate on the inner third to really brighten up that area. I didn't end up really loving this brush. I didn't feel like I was getting the saturation that I needed, so I ended up using my finger, which got in there beautifully. Yeah. Don't be afraid to really get in there and work the inner corner because it's really going to brighten your eye. I was worried the shadow was going to be a little too yellow, but it's really not. This is my Sigma. I think it's my E6, I want to say. I'm not sure, but we're going to go in with the black. And now we're going to just, again, I have a very light hand, so we're just going to get that in the crease in the outer third and just build up a little more depth into that. And I'm going to carry that up into the brow bone, into the outer third. Not take it quite in as far as Familia, but I'm getting in there. And I really like to balance the lower lid with the upper lid, so I'm not too shy about getting the shadow underneath the lid, because I feel like if you don't have any eyeshadow under the eye, you really kind of lose a little bit of balance and you open the eye up a little bit more. You think your eye looks a little bit larger. So kind of experiment, see what you like. I know that later in the video I end up taking Noble down a little bit further. Blending, again, just more blending. You cannot blend enough. Again, there's no new product on there. And then I'm going back in with the black. And I think that makes a really, really nice look. Blending, again, never enough blending. That's where the magic happens for sure. Okay, so this product, I'll never forgive Makeup Forever for discontinuing it, but I'm using it with a little Duraline. This is sort of a signature look for me. I really like a very dark waterline, and the Duraline just sort of helps it be a little bit easier to work with. And because this product can sort of get a little bit crusty, can harden up a little bit, and this just smooths it out again, makes it a little bit more creamy. And this product will stay on all day. And I really like to do this, and I actually carry that black onto the lower lid a little bit, and then I do it on the upper lid, and that's just to kind of really darken that upper lash line. Gives it a little extra drama. Not everyone can tolerate this. Number one, it might not be comfortable for you to use this, but I've been doing it for years and I absolutely love it. I'm using the same brush. It's just this random tiny Stila brush. And this is a great product. This is Matte Chromaline, which is a very creamy liner. Even after all the years I've had it, it's still creamy. And I like to do short strokes. And just, I'm really getting it close to the lash line because I don't want any voids near the lash line. Just darkening that up right there. It's not the thickest line. You can make it as thick as you want, but I'm just getting in there and deepening that lash line. And then we're going to do it on the other side. Short strokes. All the way into the inner corner. Then once I get like a full lash line, I can kind of maybe go in one full stroke. I'm adding a little bit of highlight. This was very light as a highlight, but I did feel like it tied it up together a little bit. Of course, more blending. Now I'm going to go back and take my brush, and this is with the Noble, and I'm going to use that on the lower lash line because I wanted to intensify that a little bit. Just really carry that look throughout. That Noble is really such a great color. And this is a confidential brush, and I'm using this with the black. I always like a soft line. So I almost always use a black shadow on top of my liner to soften it, add a softer edge because I don't want any harsh lines. Sometimes it thickens it a little bit. And then I go in underneath also and I'm softening that also. Yep, so I'm just taking that up, softening that, short strokes, and then blending the black underneath. Blending that black with the Noble. I do like this, yes. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna curl our lashes. Now when I do my mascara, I use two different mascaras usually. The first one that I'm gonna use is Voluminous. This is just the first coat. You don't have to use your best mascara for the first coat. I feel like you just wanna coat it. You wanna get something on there. This is a great mascara. It's just not my ideal, but I'm very happy to use this as the first coat, get a nice smooth coat on there, and don't be afraid to get in there. I don't personally have a problem with any raccoon eyes on the lower lash line, but I know for some people, they don't like to put mascara on their lash line. This Stila Magnum is an incredible mascara for volume, width. This is such a wonderful mascara. It's pricey. I think you can only get it at Ulta or through Stila, but it really gives you, in my opinion, like a false lash look. It's just really lush. And then I'm going to use Donatella lipstick by Pat McGrath. And I could have stopped here because I actually did really like the way this looked. But I also wanted a little extra drama. So we're going to go in with Tom Ford, the sparkle. It's just a light gold sparkle. You really actually can't even notice it too much on here. But this is a special lipstick, and sometimes when you just need a little something, you go. This is Stone. This is MAC Stone lip liner. And I have asymmetric lips, so I kind of like to get a little right there, I like to fill that in, get a little bit more volume. And then this is just a Wet n Wild. I think it's 648, I'm not sure. But I'm actually blurring the Stone lip liner, and that's it. That's the look right there. Very easy, very pretty for daytime or nighttime. I loved the depth. I love the way the colors came together, and I hope you enjoyed that. So thanks for sticking it out with me, and subscribe if you want more videos. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.